Hey, hello everybody. We should be live. Let me get my chat pulled up here. I appreciate you all being here today. I'm glad to see you. Bear with me. The computer wants to run a little slow. All right, let me get out of top chat. I am going to run through and say hello to everybody, but I would just like to take a brief moment of silence for Nathan at Sand Creek. He was, an awesome guy. I didn't ever get to meet him, but I considered him a good friend, and he will be missed. So if we just, thoughts or prayers or good vibes, whatever you believe in, just send those out to the family for a moment. I appreciate you all doing that, and if that threw you off and you don't want to hang around, that's fine. But he was a good guy, and he will be missed. We're going to try and keep it on a positive note because knowing Nathan, he was never one to woe is me, poor pitiful me. He was always, hey, I'm good. Don't worry about me. Don't let me hold you back. So he would want us to celebrate his life, not to bring the whole thing down. So let's have some fun in his honor and do some fishy talk and just have a good time and spend time with each other today. I'm going to run through the chat and say some hellos, and we'll get into some questions, and then we've got some things to talk about. Let's see, we've got in the chat John Larson, Bill Witt, Select Pet, Gina French, Pepling Creek Aquatics, GRB Aquatics, John Cox, lots of back and forth talk. Always good to see that. Bill Witt, bless your heart. I have to compete with Spider-Man. He said that he was picking this instead of Spider-Man, so we've got standards to live up to. Streetwise is with us. Let's see here.
I'm going to go back to the Spider-Man thing.
Absolutely. The Zen Ginger is here, and she's got the $2 super sticker with the red here arrows in Ginger. I appreciate that very, very much. Always good to see you with or without the super chats. Another good friend and supporter. Somebody that is always there for me to talk to, so thank you. Mike with the Fish Tank Barn will be lurking. John Larson, in case I didn't say John already. Hello, if I said it already. Hello again. Tiffany White, Select Pet, Chad Crotts, Big J's Fish Keeper, GRB Aquatics again, Lefty 3213A, Young Fish Aquatics, Big Tank, Hank, I need to get with you at some point. You sent me a message and I didn't get back to you because I was in the midst of a 23-hour shift, my final shift at work. So apologies, I hadn't gotten back to you yet, but it's been a little crazy. Sherry Kramer, Lori Venker, Mains, Tails, Furs and Fins, Ginger Graves, Priscilla in MK, Susan for SLC Aquatics. Good to see you, Susan. I hope you're doing well. Sorry if I missed anybody. I'm a little off today. It's been a rough couple days. So came home from a 23-hour shift. Got a text on the drive home from that last day of work, walked through the door, looked at the text, and it was the news from Ed on what had happened. So then I was up at 2 this morning and have been up since. So bear with me tonight, today, this afternoon and evening, wherever you may be, hoping to have a good fun stream. But if it's a little off, my apologies in advance. Center Stars channel Hollow Earth says, hello, realized I was subscribed and stopped by to say hi. Well, I appreciate that. It's good to see you. Always great to see new names to me in the chat. And if I have seen you before, my apologies. I did not remember. See, Don Cervantes is with us as well. I'll make sure real quick I didn't miss any questions in the chat pre-stream. Ed, if you've got anything you would like to say, feel free to do so.
Well, I wanted to know which Spider-Man, who was giving that Spider-Man up?
Bill Witt.
Bill Witt. Which Spider-Man were you giving up? So that way I know how serious you are about our show. If it's Garfield, oh, man.
Yeah.
I still appreciate you being here, but you didn't have much other choice.
Right.
But the new kid is amazing.
He said, congratulations on finishing my retail journey. Thank you very much. Almost 7 years devoted to that particular company and a lot of other years in a lot of other management positions. And I've had my own company before, but never really pursued my dreams, if you will. So with everything that's happened, I'm going to take kind of a week of, I guess you could call it rest and relaxation and refocusing. And then it's going to be a constant 18-hour-a-day grind every day. More content, more everything. Try and make everything better. Not just more quantity, but better content as well. So I hope you all enjoy it. I think it's going to be a phenomenal journey, and I appreciate you all being here at the start of that particular part of the journey. I love you guys. You're awesome. And if it weren't for you all, I would not have had the motivation and inspiration to follow my dreams. So thank you all very, very much.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
John Cox
said number one, so it's Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
I like Tobey Maguire. Those the first two are good out of the three.
John Cox said, longtime fish keeper, 30 years, who had a few plants in my tanks, but not aquascape. I want some average grow rate of aquarium plants. And then he says, for example, my duckweed doubles in size every 10 days outdoors in my tubs, but takes a month to do so under low light in tanks. Let's see.
I'm saying fertilizer.
Yeah. I'm surprised the duckweed is taking that long, because typically each piece of duckweed, each little leaf will multiply on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm curious what all is in the tank, if you're actually getting enough production all the way through the process to the nitrate in to get sufficient plant growth. That's why a lot of my tanks are quote unquote overstocked, is it actually gets additional nitrates into the tank, and helps in conjunction with the proper lighting to make the plants grow and then suck that stuff out and repeat process. Let's see another one. How fast will micro sword double? That's going to vary on a lot of different aspects. And I know we hate this answer and we all get it / give it all the time, but it's going to vary a lot dependent upon your particular setup, whether you're dosing fertilizers, your light cycle, even without fertilizers, what's your bio load in the tank, how much ammonia is being produced to turn into nitrite, to turn into nitrate for the plants to absorb. Let me see if I find that stuff. I will be happy to try and get you the best answer. Looks like we've got a couple people with mentions. John Cox also says, thought about digging up some soil from my organic garden to go under the gravel, but fear the dirted tank. You don't have to fear the dirted tank. I wouldn't necessarily recommend organic out of your garden unless you know for sure that there's no way anybody's got near it with pesticides. Like if you're on your own property and you know it hasn't been sprayed, that's one thing. But even then, theoretically, you could get chemicals or pesticides in the rain that have been absorbed up in the atmosphere and all that wonderful stuff. So I would probably say just if you spend a couple bucks and buy a new bag of organic dirt if you're going to do it. But don't be afraid. I was afraid for a long time, and then I tried the dirted tank and absolutely love it. I know that's way up at the top. I'm going to try and get back down to the bottom here.
Going back to the duckweed, he says that his duckweed's not growing, but his water lettuce is. I wonder if he's got plants eating, fish eating his duckweed, and maybe the duckweed is actually producing like crazy just to be there.
That's possible. And I've also had other plants, outcompete the duckweed. So if he's got other floating plants, they may just be out competing it.
Yeah,
that's happened at a couple tanks that were duckweed ridden, and then they got frog bit, or Salvinia, water spangles in there, and it started out competing the duckweed.
Awesome.
All right, let's see. Don't think I miss. Oh, here we go. Lefty32138 says, I used the Top Fin Lights, aka PetSmart specials, and my plants were meh till I started using Easy Green from the Co-op Fish Room Fever. I've not tried the Easy Green yet. I am looking forward to doing that. Ed's got that for us to divvy up, and I'm excited because I get really good plant growth without any fertilizers. So curious to see. And then John Cox says low stock breeding tanks. So if they're low stock, it may just be that you're not getting enough nutrients on the back end of your cycle for them to absorb them to grow quicker. So I would say probably do some fertilizer. Easy Green's going to be your best one from everything I've heard. Like I said, I've not tried it yet, but I've not heard a single complaint, and I've heard lots of praise from it. And I have never known Corey to put anything out that was not tested a bajillion times and quality approved by him. So
Yeah, I've used that and gosh, what's the one that the big one that you can buy at every store? It's like the same people that make Prime.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know.
it's still the Easy Green. I think has been the best. I got a bottle of Stephen Conroy's stuff, and I'm really looking forward to using that because it's a pump and it's big and I like it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to giving it a try. See, lots of hellos, lots of great, words are hard. Lots of great people coming in. Lumpy Dog said there's another good one. Less or lower percentage water changes too. Yeah, that will help if you. Honestly, I would test your nitrate, see what it's at. If I had to guess, given the plant growth rate, it's probably like nil at this point, and they don't have those nitrates to absorb from the rear end of the nitrogen cycle.
That was Lefty said it. Flugel Flourish
Okay.
is and I find that Corey's is better. But I mean, a lot of people use the Flugel stuff.
So was asking about the range of what to expect on other types of plants. My swords don't grow extremely quickly. Honestly, it depends on the tank. if I'm being realistic, it depends on what tank they're in. In the dirted tanks, they double maybe in a month. In the tanks that have no substrate and they're just like in a terracotta pot with gravel and some sort of like root tab, they don't double nearly that quick. And the gravel tanks, maybe a month and a half to 2 months for them to actually double. But the dirted tanks seem to do really, really well.
Yeah, they've done really well in my dirted tanks, and I haven't done anything else. So,
Young Fish Aquatic says, Fisher and Fever, my Oscar is pooping blood, and I don't know why. He has a white spot next to his tail, and it might be a bruise. If it looks like he maybe has some external damage, it's possible, with a lot of the big guys, they get startled, they take off, they bump into something, and they hurt themselves. So given that you think he has a bruise, it's possible that maybe he did some internal damage, slamming into something if he got spooked. That being said, if it's not that, it's possible maybe he ate some rocks or something and they had jagged edges. I don't know what your substrate is, but I'm just trying to think of possibilities for that. I'm sure that there is some form of internal parasites that could cause blood in the poop. But given that you say it looks like he's bruised up, or potentially bruised up, I would ask, I guess, what your ornaments are, if there's anything that he could have done that type of damage to himself on. Ed?
Or another fish may be attacking him too.
That's true.
Because sometimes they like to hit each other down the swim bladder and mess each other up.
Yes, absolutely. Pegasus Arena says, Fisher and Fever Chattanooga, Ed, hi. Sorry I missed the start of the stream. I'm here now and I got my fish, but they were labeled wrong, thus I was charged wrong.
Oh.
Well, from the way you said it, I'm thinking that sounds bad. I know that could be good and you got undercharged, but the way that you said it, it sounds like you got overcharged, in which case I am sorry to hear that, and I would talk to somebody about that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find that so I can reread it, so I can comprehend it. Who said that?
Pegasus Arena. Flugel Flourish says Lefty 3213A. Zen Ginger says Seek Him Flourish. I'm not sure. Whoever said that, you have to clarify. The only fertilizer I even have in the house are some root tabs, and then I have a bottle of Aqueon fertilizer, but it's full. I tried it for like a week, and I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with dosing this way and that. All these tanks, and said I'm not going to be consistent, so I'm not going to do it.
Would you have any type of a pump bottle?
I do. I can works. So usually you can find like empty bottles like that at the dollar store. There's all sorts of goodies you can get at the dollar store for fish stuff that people don't generally think of as fish stuff.
Well, because what James and I did is we bought the bigger bottle of the Easy Green, and we are going to split it. And I was thinking, I've got Corey's little shot glass, so we could squirt how much my Easy Green comes out of my one bottle that I have got, and see how much comes out of yours water. And then we could see, it's supposed to be one squirt for every 10 gallons. But I honestly don't do that. I just squirt a couple squirts. Sometimes it squirts more, sometimes it's less. So if a little bit comes out, I do a double shot.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Lumpy Dog says, my guppy grass doubles weekly, but the hair algae can double nightly. Yeah. Now, I have hair algae specifically in some tanks. Shrimp absolutely love it. But it's always a pain when it gets in a tank I don't want it in, especially if it's got guppy grass, because you're not getting that separated. You just have to chuck it up as a lost cause in terms of propagatable guppy grass. Chewy LTD, I'm going to see if I can find that over here. Has posted the link. I know it's a little while back for everybody, to Sand Creek Aquatics channel. Nathan, we do want to try to get him to 1,000 subscribers still. I know that he would absolutely love that. And I'm gonna make something here real quick. I don't know if I've gone past it or I've not gotten to it yet, but I see it over on the side here. Lefty 3213A. There's a super sticker somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it and see exactly what it is. I'm gonna guess it's the red arrow also. But let me do this real quick and add this banner. Ed, if you want to grab anything, you are welcome to do so.
Well, Stephen does the same thing as I do. She loves the Easy Green from the co-op, and she does the same thing. It comes out. I do a double squirt. So, yep, she's with me, and man, you can't get better than Susan. So I appreciate being in the same category or conversation as her. She's amazing. Susan, have you started up any fish, or are you still planning to head to Virginia? Or if it's private, you don't need to know. And then, of course, I'm 15 seconds behind.
I've lost my, my chat window. Goodness. Okay.
This says, I do Easy Green, but have to be careful with it because it gives me BBA. What's BBA?
Blackbeard algae.
Oh, Blackbeard algae. Yeah. That's rough. I got some American flagfish. I absolutely love them. I now have them in 2 tanks. They're about that big. They look like miniature bass with a lot of color. They don't look like the American flag. They're just flagfish from America. But they wipe out the algae. It's amazing. And they love beard algae. Well, I don't know about beard algae. No. They wiped out the beard algae in one tank. They wipe out the hair algae. The only thing is you have to be careful because they are fin nippers. So I wouldn't put them with any fancy guppies because I think they'll probably wipe out your boy guppies. And they also wipe out some plants. So I had Japanese pennywort in one tank, and they ate every little. I don't know if you guys know what Japanese pennywort is, but it's like a little string. And it has these little bitty, it almost looks like 3-leaf clovers up and down. It's real pretty. They just ate all the clovers off. And so it's just a bunch of strings. Ordinary little guys. But they do fine with Anubias. They do good with Christmas moss. They do good with a lot of things. It's just a few of the smaller plants they'll just chew up.
So we do have Bluegills and Bass said, Fisherman Fever, I have 2 freshwater fish tanks, and they both have a purple algae in the places won't eat. Do you know what it is or how to take care of it? Purple algae. Is it possibly blue-green algae? An off variation and maybe looks purple, which is not actually an algae, and you can treat with, what is it, erythromycin? Because that one, even though we call it an algae, it's not actually an algae. I'm trying to think of another thing that could possibly be a purple algae. Somebody may have already answered it in the chat, but I'm going to scroll through here. Off the top of my head, that would be my guess that maybe you're just getting what looks like a purple variant.
So Susan still has a couple of crayfish. She would like it if somebody would like to order them. I wonder if they're those cloning crayfish.
They probably are. Excuse me. Young Fish Aquatic says, Fisherman Fever, yes, I have black gravel, and he spits it out every time he tries to eat it, but I do have slate, and he is acting normal. Well, if he's acting normal, that's a good sign. It may have just been some sort of temporary disruption, if you will, in his system. So I'd monitor him. But if he's continuing to act okay and continuing to eat, if it persists for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days a week, potentially try some dewormer, because if it's internal damage after a week, it's probably not going to be acting normal anymore if it's still persistent. So maybe try and deworm him, see if he's got some sort of parasites going on that are really tearing him up. But I mean, it could be the gravel. It could be. I've seen him pick it up and spit it out a million times, but one time they happen to swallow it. I've got a Bisher right now that I'm almost positive she's got a pebble lodged in her belly because she's got a big bulgy spot that's not gone away.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, well, she's acting fine. She's not had any issues in her poop. So I'm hoping that she will be okay and maybe one day grow large enough for it to pass. But she's still going to the bathroom, so it's not causing a blockage. She's still eating, swims fine, isn't having any bladder issues. So other than this big funky looking bulge, you can't tell any difference. Pegasus Arena says, I was charged for 2 Ryukins and a Blackmore, but was given 2 fantails in an Oranda, and PetSmart doesn't have any fantails in. I don't know goldfish well enough to know, but yeah, with the sad face, I'd say you got a bad deal on that. Just from the sad face. I honestly don't know the pricing on goldfish, but that would be my determination.
Yeah, I wonder like how they did that. Because like I know that one time Bob got the wrong tetras at your local store, and you ended up with the gold tetras that he bought. But how maybe you just say, I want this to the kid, and the kid went and got the wrong thing, or what it was.
So we've got lots of people praising the Easy Green, and we've also got like Gina French says, I do like the Easy Green, but I have to be careful with it, or it gives me. Is that the one you read earlier, the BBA?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but that's just like, any fertilizer. If you overdo it, you're just giving random types of bad algae, if you will, opportunities to jump in there and get on those excess nutrients. Lots of people coming in. Hello, Chevy Fish, Chewy, Crystals, Pets, and Plants, Punchy Paints. I'm not going to catch everybody. Amber, Big City Bettas. Lots of awesome people here. Yeah, there we go. Chevy Fish says it comes in many colors and is actually a bacteria if it is cyano. Yep, absolutely. Kind of like we call moss balls, but they're not. Like the Maramos, they're not moss. They're an algae. They're an algae. Excuse me. I'm from America, so I'm expecting to say algae. Let's see. Select Bet says, I bought a 1999 betta once, and they charged me $1.99. Wish I had gotten more of them. I've had that happen before, where they had the betta in the wrong cup, and so it was like a $25 betta, and it was labeled as a $5.99 betta, and I debated, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna let them charge me the $5.99. That's what they labeled it as.
I did kind of a terrible thing once. I used to collect hockey cards in my youth, and they were selling the packs for 15 cents a piece. They were just trying to get rid of them. So I grabbed a whole box. I was just going to buy the whole thing of them for that cheap. And I brought it up to the front, and she scanned the bottom of the box and said, okay, 15 cents. And then, because I was thinking it'd be like $3 or $4. She says, boy, that's cheap. and then I said, well, hang on for a minute. And I ran back and grabbed all the boxes for 15 cents each. And that's a terrible thing, but maybe they were 15 cents.
Maybe. So I did scroll through and find it because I got to the bottom and had not seen it. Lefty3213A had the $2 super sticker with the big red heart. Thank you, Lefty. Love you, my friend. I appreciate that very, very much. Never expected or required, but always appreciated. So thank you for that. Let me get back down to the bottom. All right. Chewy LTD says, are the public aquariums open in the USA? Fish room fever. The zoos and aquariums up here are taking a beating. No funds to work with, but high costs. We may lose the Vancouver Aquarium. That is horrible to hear. Ed, you would know better about the aquarium down there.
Yep. I'm a member of the Tennessee Aquarium. It's in it's in Chattanooga. He lives in Knoxville. I live in Chattanooga. It's a great aquarium. They're doing now appointments only. So basically, they're only letting so many people in, like every 15 minutes. Or maybe it's every 5 minutes. I don't know how it's working. I haven't been down there yet, but I just got the email last week that they're doing by appointment. So I'm kind of stoked about that. I thought, oh man, it'll be great for taking photos of the fish with a lot less people in there. So later this week, I'll probably be going in there and checking it out.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know the Knoxville Zoo, last I heard, they're doing the same thing by appointment. So slowly working on opening back up.
And then the Tennessee Aquarium is actually two different buildings. They have a saltwater and a freshwater. It's pretty neat. You guys ever get a chance, just look it up on the internet. It's cool. Did I say Knoxville again?
You may have. Sorry, I was trying to pull up. Pega's sister, Rena, said she'd sent me a message explaining about the goldfish.
If you look up the Knoxville Aquarium, you'll be looking up a pet store in Knoxville or a fish store in Knoxville. If you look up the Tennessee Aquarium, you'll be looking up the right place.
All right. Rena, my phone is stupid. For some reason, it never lets me accept message requests on my phone. I have to do it on my computer. But I will accept that because I'm kind of curious about what they did.
But I've been in aquariums just about all over North America. I've even been to the Vancouver one. I haven't been to the ones in California. But the Tennessee one ranks right up there. I would say it's probably in my top 4 favorite aquariums. I was pretty blessed to be able to live in a town that has something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about tonight. Do you have anything before I get into my ramblings, Ed?
Oh, no. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I thought about making a video on it, and I may still do something. But one of the things that I've been thinking about is the dark side of fish keeping, especially when you really get into the hobby. I know that I'm not alone in this. But now that I'm off work, I have time to focus on these things. Whereas before, my time was focused on I need to ensure the health of the fish, water changes, proper feeding, all that type of stuff. All those things first. But things like that, piles of fish junk, piles and piles of fish junk, especially you go and you get this bundle deal off of Craigslist. And you end up, I must have 30 hood combinations because about all of the 10 gallons I purchased were used and they came with the lid and the light. And where I've racked them and I have 4-foot lighting across the top of them, I don't use the lids and the lights. I've probably got 10 to 20 hang on back filters I don't use, all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious how many people out there have that deep dark secret, that especially for the fish tubers that make videos that we're always trying to film around and hide when we're filming and producing things. I know I'm not alone in that struggle.
Yeah, I've got a mess of lids. I don't even know where I got them all. I was giving out a lot of fish tanks when I was moving down here to Tennessee, and I must not have been giving out the lids. Because now I've got, like, in my kitchen, I've got a spot where I've got a refrigerator on one side, but then the other side I think I could put in like a tall freezer. So it's just a big empty space. And that's where I've been like stacking stupid lids. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting through that stuff. I'm probably just going to do a mass, like here's a giant tote full of aquarium crap for $20. No, I'm not driving it halfway across the state. You can meet me at the pet store. Come and get it. That type of thing. Because somebody, I'm sure, can put it to use, because it's all functional stuff. I hate to just throw it out when somebody that needs it really cheap can get a hold of it. And I don't like putting stuff for free just because you get a million people, and half the time they just want to resell the crap anyways. But we've got, first off, Lefty asking if I've been to the two there. I have not. The only aquariums I have been to, or zoos or anything like that, are Ripley's Aquarium, which is in, I told you I'm off today, Gatlinburg. I've not been to the Chattanooga Aquarium. I've been to like the Knoxville Zoo, and I've been to the zoo in California and the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I think, did I go to the zoo in California, or was that Florida?
The California Zoo, the San Diego Zoo?
I don't remember. It's been so long. I know I went to Monterey Bay Aquarium while we were out there. And then growing up in Florida, I went to the zoo down there.
Well, someday I'll take you to my hometown, St. Louis. They've got the third best zoo in the world, and it's free.
That makes it the number one best zoo in the world.
Right. Well, the two above it is San Diego, which I was just going with. And then the number one is supposed to be the Australian Zoo. That was Steve Irwin one.
Yeah.
But the St. Louis Zoo is amazing. It was built during the World's Fair like 100 years ago. And this place, it's a park in the middle of the city. It's called Forest Park, and they built all these free attractions, and they've kept it free. And it's one of the nicest things about St. Louis. And I've been to a lot of zoos, and I haven't found one better than the St. Louis. So, but I haven't been to San Diego or Australia.
Right.
So
we've got Priscilla MK with a $5 super chat, not only a member, but throwing $5 down, says random general question. Raise your hand if you've had more algae than usual in the last month. I don't know that I have. If you count the one tote that I have outside in it, yes, I have, but that's only because it's, outside now. But honestly, I really haven't. I know we've got a lot of hands raised in the chat, but thank you very, very much for that, Priscilla MK. I don't know how much she's said publicly, so don't want to give anything away, but Priscilla is working on some really awesome stuff for her channel / her fishy aspirations. So be sure and check her out. She's got great things in the making. Thank you, Priscilla. Select Pet raises hand, but I left my lights on 24/7 a while. That'll definitely do it. Ginger Graves also raising her hand. Good to see you. Lots of awesome members in here. I appreciate you all. I really, really do. That means you don't know what that means to me. The subscribers, the members, just the people hanging out here with us. I don't even know how many people we've got, but just knowing the general support, I'd say we probably got like 47 people in here. And you all are just awesome. So thank you very much for that. Chewy LTD, always having the global knowledge, says the new aquarium in Thailand is amazing. Fish Room Fever. As soon as somebody wants to get me a ticket to Thailand, I will be happy to go check that out and make an awesome video. I'll make a really good video as soon as I get some tickets.
So Select Peck says he hears that parking at the St. Louis Zoo makes up for the admission costs. Chattanooga Ed with a question mark. They have free parking all over the place because it's a gigantic park, but you may have to walk 1 block. You may have to walk about a mile because the park is huge. They have parking right out in front of the zoo, and it costs something maybe, I'm going to guess $12, maybe $15. But if you bring a whole family, $15 is a great value.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't quote me, but I was checking the Australian Zoo, I think last year, and it was like, I think it was $75 a day for a person, just because I was dreaming and thinking, ooh, I'd like to go. So,
Okay, so yeah, there's where Select Pet asked that. GRB did ask about your T-shirt today, Ed.
Yep. Wearing the psych ward. I bought this years ago. When things were getting crazy at work, I used to wear this.
Sometimes we need it around here. Hello, Alice. Good to see you. Saying hello to you and myself. Zen asking if you wore the shirt for her. New England Endler. Good to see you, my friend. Says, hate to ruin the topic / chat, but if you don't have months worth of food, ammo, meds, etc. in your home, you're foolishly spending your money on fish hobby stuff needs before once. Without diving into that topic, I will simply say stay ready to keep from getting ready, my friend. And I will leave it at there because YouTube doesn't like when I digress into those other topics. But good to see you, and thank you very much for the comment. Lefty3213A is asking the chat if you should buy another betta fish. The answer is always yes, especially since Amber's around. Brad, Mr. Fish, sir, good to see you, buddy. Dropping the $1 poop emoji. I appreciate you coming in and crapping on the stream. That's been awesome lately. I figure there's already enough crap in here when Ed and I get together. Might as well add more to it. So thank you very much, Brad. Very much appreciated, my friend. Good to see you, brother.
I just decided to laugh and say what I was thinking.
If it's about some sort of spraying in a shower, we don't need to hear that one again. I'm pretty sure I had a monetization hit. I'm just kidding. I will say, for the creators in here, I noticed something awesome, and it happened a while back, and I hadn't mentioned it. But if you accurately, for anybody that doesn't know, whenever you go to post a video or start a stream, YouTube will ask you if it's made for kids, yes, no. And then when I hit no, it has this whole list of topics, and it says, does it involve any of these things? And then I say no, because it doesn't. And then after a while, they validate and make sure that you've correctly categorized that. Well, after maybe 7 or 8 of them, they came back and they said, hey, you're doing a great job. You've accurately described all of them. We trust you now. Just keep doing what you're doing, and we won't be double checking everything. So I thought that was kind of neat that they almost not pre-approved, but they will come back after examining multiple inputs and say, hey, we trust you. Keep it up. So.
John Cox was saying that he's a farmer, and you know what? He's only an hour away from us.
Nice.
He's got to show up to some of our YouTube meetups.
Is John in Maryville?
Miniville? McMinnieville. I think
McMinnville?
His town.
What?
Yeah. It's like, if I'm on the map, it's kind of like, well, because everything's backwards here, but it's like that for me, and it's like that for you. So if we would you would drive this way and I would drive this way, we could meet at his house.
Oh, nice.
It'd be like if we took the back way to Nashville.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always up for that kind of stuff, especially now. And then where was it? Chevy Fish. And I see you there, Mr. Zen. I'm going to get to you, buddy. Chevy Fish says, I was blessed to be able to take classes at the Shed Aquarium and got to see all the behind the scenes workings and their extensive breeding room for clownfish back in the early days of captive breeding. That is very, very cool. That's something that I've considered trying to get into now that I've got more time is the University of Tennessee, I guess agricultural department or whatever. They have a breeding program here that works with a lot of the native endangered species and things of that nature for fish. So, and they accept volunteers last I looked. So I'm looking at trying to get in and volunteer with some stuff like that. Because we've got, what is it? The blue darter, I think, that is indigenous to middle/eastern Tennessee. It's an endangered fish, and they've done work with it and breeding it. So I'd love to, now that I've got some time, be able to, go and volunteer and do some awesome stuff like that, because I think that would be a phenomenal experience. And that's super cool. You got to do that at Shed Aquarium. Yeah,
the Shed Aquarium is an awesome aquarium too. I've been there several times. I used to live in St. Louis, so I've already said that several times. But used to head there often and check out the shed.
Mr. Zen, my brother from another mother, not only a super awesome ultra premium member, but throwing the $3 super sticker. I appreciate you, Mr. Zen. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the super sticker. Rock on. Sure, I've not missed McMinnville. Okay, I see that now. So yeah, that would be awesome. Now that we've invited ourselves to go to his house, you know.
Yeah.
I will say Ed started that. Blame the travel manager.
I was saying that you could come out and hang out with us at places.
Well, there's somebody that lives in
You don't even know
Maryville.
poor John has a fish tank.
Yeah,
You might
there's
just like to talk.
there's somebody. Hey, I mean, we can do that. How many hours do we spend out in a parking lot at a fish store talking to other fish people?
Yeah, well, we think he has white ducks, so we could check
Okay.
out his ducks.
But there is a gentleman. I have to go back and find the emails. Before all of the madness happened, he actually breeds bait fish outdoors. And I talked about him about coming out and doing some filming. He's out toward Maryville, which isn't far from me. So I need to get back in touch with him now that things are settling down. Because there's a lot of cool stuff I just didn't have the time to do working 6 days a week.
You know, did you miss a Mr. Zen super chat or super sticker?
I got the $3 one. Was there another one?
Nope, I'm sorry. He just
Okay,
said
that's-
hi, guys, and I was like afraid that maybe we ignored him.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Zen, you're the best dressed man.
He is. He's really the best dressed man now that he's got that Fish Room Fever wraparound shirt I sent him. Let's see. Blackberries. All right. I don't see anything highlighted. But yeah, kind of on that topic, if you want Ed and I to come by and say hello and maybe do a video or anything like that, we're always looking for adventures, right?
Oh, sure.
So, now if you're in like Alaska, I don't know how we're going to make that work, but
Or meet up at your local fish store.
yeah, absolutely.
I totally understand if you don't want these, two goofballs on here to be at your house, but
Trust me, I had Ed and Bob over here one time, good old Bob Kaler, and I don't know, they thought I was going to lock him in the closet, I think, when they walked in. They're like, are you sure you've got fish tanks? No, I'm just kidding. But it's funny.
What I'm more excited about, the fish tanks or his Star Wars Legos?
Yeah, I've got a couple of the big in-store displays of Star Wars Lego ships and characters and stuff.
The nerd in me came out and was like, oh. Did you have Poe's Black X-Wing?
I think that's what's up there.
I think you have Poe's X-Wing. I think you had a Millennium Falcon. Then you had a whole bunch of just Star Wars guys. Like
It's got every single figure.
So-
Some of them double because some of them are in with that X-Wing, which is a smaller set. And then it also has a TIE Fighter. So, it's the displays they put in stores to try and sell those kits. I saw a buddy of mine just a minute ago. Let me find him here. The chat jumped on me. Aquatic Marine says, maybe we can, I'm assuming, have you two come by later this week to do a remodel update. Kenny, I would love to. I'm in there all the time. I've got some some pictures of the stuff you've been doing to add into the video for when that super sexy secret project that you're working on is done, because that's going to be really, really nice. Yeah, I'd absolutely love to.
I want to check out some of your plants too, Kenny.
Yeah.
After watching that Pet Tech video, you had some pretty cool ones.
Yeah, he does. And thank you for being here. I appreciate that, buddy. Vegas Sister Arena says, come to me, do a stream from North Dakota. I'll provide pizza and soda. Well, Ed's already mentioned if you offer him food, he's, you can't turn it down, right?
Yeah, and I love pop. So just as long as it's caffeine. No decaf.
Right. I can't do diet caffeine free.
Well, I've never drank coffee in my life, but I don't think I would ever do no caffeine coffee. That's just, I don't get that. But I mean, why would you drink something that gross and not get the caffeine? I need some sweet tea for the caffeine.
There you go. Aquatic Marine saying, do not share yet. Okay, I'm going to tell all of his secrets right now since he said that. So basically what he's working on right now is currently a
Beep.
And on top of that, it's also got a built-in.
Beep.
Yeah.
We need to work on that. It'd be really cool if we got that down. Great.
See, I was just playing on the mic going out. I like that you added the beep, but yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. Oh no, Kenny, I'm keeping my mouth shut, buddy. Alice said, "Super sexy project." Oh, it's nice. It is nice. I can't tell you what it is yet, but we've got stage video, and we'll have some final video when it's done. Aquatic Marine, does the mega bus go to North Dakota? I don't know, but I think the Chattanooga Ed Train does.
Pop is soda. In America, it's like everybody calls it different depending on where they're from. Some people call it just Coke. Some call it soda pop. Some call it pop. Some soda. But my roots are in the north, so that's why I'm a pop guy.
Some pop. Not sponsored, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Hold on. Refreshing. Come on. No. Let's see. Big J's Fish Keeper said, successfully moved the plecos. Congratulations, my friend. I'm glad that worked out for you. I missed a question that wasn't highlighted. So there it is. T-Shot says, will a Siamese algae eater take care of hair algae? Do they need to be in groups, or can you get a solo? Ed?
They do a great job when they're young. They destroy it when they're young. As they get bigger, they'll start eating your flakes that you're feeding the rest of the fish.
Yeah, they get lazy.
You know what? Just about every small independent fish store is more than happy to trade little ones for big ones. So when they get this big, they like to just sit. They're pretty neat though when they're big because mine like to lay on the plants and stuff. I can't trade anything because I fall in love with my fish. But my original plan was to snack them out and get little ones. But yeah, they kind of turn into normal big fish, but they're pretty. Yeah, they're awesome. You want to make sure. Gosh, there's two different types of algae eaters, and they try to pass them both off as Siamese algae eaters. And you want to make sure that you get the real ones.
Yeah.
Like I got mine from Dan's Fish to make sure that I got the right ones.
Yeah, he's not gonna mislabel his stuff. That's a very good source. Mr. Fisher says, dwarf gourami with a wart-looking sore next to its mouth. Any idea what it could be? Has it been kissing on any gouramis of the night? Because sometimes they get no, I'm just kidding. Wart-looking sore next to its mouth. I like the fish questions we normally don't get, but y'all are testing us today. They're making us work for this one. I like it.
I bought 2 guppy books that I want to read over like 3 times over. And I was telling James, my goal for this year is to read a different fish book every week. And I want to be able to answer all the questions in it to really improve my knowledge on fish questions. So my next one will have to be on fish disease. So we can answer, or hopefully I'd have an answer for what happens when there's blood in the poop and herpes on your lips.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same. They say if you read 1 book a month on the topic that you intend to focus on, after 5 years, you'll be in the top 5% of specialists on that subject. So, in theory, I'm hoping to read a couple books a month on fishy-related stuff. Now that I can clear all the retail junk out of my brain and my hard drive has some free space for me to fill up with fish stuff. I honestly don't know on the wart-looking sore. It's so hard to try and diagnose stuff without a picture.
Yeah, he could have been chewing on another guy's face. They could be a limb.
I mean, I have seen gouramis with the tendency to try and lock lips, almost like your big Oscars will and things like that. So it's possible it was some damage from something like that. I hate to say it, but I don't know just off of trying to make a picture in my head. I'm sorry that I don't know, buddy.
The best thing to do would be to post it on one of the Facebook pages where a lot of people can see what it actually looks like, so we know if
Or
it's actually
if you can get a short clip of it and post it on your channel and say, "Hey, what's this?"
Yeah, I mean, and you can just you could also send it to just a whole mess of the YouTube guys, all of us on a question thing, and somebody's bound to know what it is.
Hello,
But,
Fish Stream.
Chewy
Sorry.
wants to know the author of my 2 guppy books I just bought. I believe his name's Brian George Chin, but Brian Chin. So, pretty awesome books.
Susan says, I'll be coming through Chattanooga on the 23rd.
Oh, awesome.
Party time.
Yeah.
Not like party because none of us are party people, but you know.
Yeah, remind Bob and I, and maybe we can take you out for lunch or something if you'd like. Because that'd be fun.
Oh, look at that. John Cox says, Chattanooga, Ed, if I get the still set up, there could be some moonshine. My grandfather and father were moonshiners years ago. I was trained in the family tradition. Can't turn that one down, you know?
I don't know if you've ever seen me drink alcohol.
I saw you at BFD.
I would probably have a stroke if I had to drink moonshine. I took a shot of moonshine once when I was younger, and oh man, and it was filled with blueberries. They said, "Oh no, this is good." It's like I thought it was gasoline. But you know what? I will still support you making your moonshine because that's cool.
Susan, I missed your comment about the pop. I'm sorry. I see where you said that we ignored your comment about the pop. My apologies. Now I'm way back up where I was not. Coming back down through here. All sorts of awesome people. I see where Chewy asked about the authors. Lefty3213A says, favorite style betta fish, Fish Room Fever. That's tough. I love them all so much. I've got a pretty blue crown tail that's in this little tank right next to me. I say little, it's that 13-gallon widescreen tank. I really like him, but I also like oh goodness, what was it? What's it called? Honestly, I have to look up the names.
Yeah, and
they're also
no way that I could even pick one. I love color. And like when I do my art, I do lots of bright colors. I love color. And I mean, it's just I just love them because they're all packed with different colors, and I fall in love with them all. So, you know, if I got a green one in this tank, I'm going to have a yellow one. Well, I don't know yellow, but a red one and a blue one and a purple one and a white one. So,
yeah,
I'm sure there's some awesome yellow ones too. As I was saying that, I was like popping ones in my mind that I've had in the past. I've just never had a yellow one. I've seen some neat ones that kind of look like almost sunflowers.
Yeah, there are some really, really pretty ones out there. It's so hard to pick.
Somebody on Instagram posted, I think it would be, if they're called a koi one, they have several different colors.
Yeah. But
this guy, he had blue scales. It was amazing. He looked like a rainbow. But it was like more like if somebody made a quilt with a bunch of different patches of material. That's what his body was. It was amazing. But he didn't have the big fans, like, you know. So I think it would be considered a koi, because I think the koi ones have the smaller tail and just the smaller fins in general. I think.
I believe you to be correct, but I know I am an expert on bettas, so I will leave it at that. The Zen Ginger panicking in the chat, asking that we please stop discussing the Coca-Cola's, I'll say the full name, original ingredients in the chat. YouTube can be really picky about what they slam the ban hammer down on top of. I don't mind it because it's history, but all the same, we don't want to upset the YouTube gods. They've been fairly kind to me lately, so hopefully that will continue onward. I will say though, my apologies if you're watching this on a rerun and I have not yet gotten to edit the ads. YouTube has probably put them every 2.5 minutes, and I am sorry. I will fix it. So if you're running through a rerun and you've made it this far through 20 ads, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. They're automatically generated.
Now, how does that work? If you buy the deal with YouTube where you see no ads, does the creator still get 2 cents per view?
They don't tell you specifically what you get that I've found 100%, but you do get something. You get like a partial pay on that, if you will, for premium. And my thing is I have premium, so when I go back and like look at my streams to kind of edit them, if you will, or audit them, I guess is a better term, I wasn't seeing any ads, so I didn't know about it. So I had to start logging in on my other account that doesn't have premium. Then I'm like, oh my God, there's an ad every 2 minutes and 38 seconds. What is going on? Fortunately, there were some people that were kind enough to mention that in the comments versus just being mad and leaving. So thank you to those people.
That is cool. We appreciate everyone.
We do. We really, really do. Awesome group of people. And I saw somewhere, even though my chat just jumped, that we've got 50 watching and 50 likes, if I read that correctly. Oh, yeah, 50 watching and 53 thumbs ups. You all are awesome. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Zen Ginger says, Plakat Koi is the smaller tail. LOL.
Okay.
So there we go. Yeah, I'm trying to learn metas. I've got 5 now, and I'm just absolutely in love with them. They're so cool. I've got one that's more of a wild type female that I picked up. She's not like super colorful unless you've got the right light on her. She just kind of looks brown, but she's gorgeous blue undertones.
I successfully mailed to Beta last week, so I was pretty proud of that. They got there alive. The mail was a day late. It was guaranteed, and they were still a day late. And I thought, you know what? They made it, so I'm not going to ask for my money back.
Oh, dad joke. Does that mean you're a better shipper than you were before?
Aha! That's
sorry.
Great.
Had to do it.
I never lost a fish before, though.
Let's see. Mr. Fisher says, Fisherman Fever, easy one for you, maybe. My longfin bristlenose is digging in the sand to the bottom of the tank. What or why is he doing this? So I've got a super red that started to do that in one of the dirted tanks. Fortunately, quit before it hit the dirt. But it did burrow and make itself its own cave. It decided it no longer wanted the cave that it had, and went up against a rock and burrowed underneath it. I have had bristlenose do that before in just gravel substrate. That was actually my first bristlenose male that I got. I've got this huge piece of dragon stone, and it went, and I was so afraid the stone was going to crush it because it was going to dig out too much gravel, but it actually dug itself a cave, kicked out the gravel, and made itself a little cave to spawn in underneath that rock. So it's probably what is going on there. I see Gina French's avatar logo thing popped up there with the $10 super chat. I have not gotten to yet. I am sorry, Gina. I will get there.
Well, she says that I'm awesome and you're okay.
You are awesome and I am okay. I am great. I am. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina, and I will give you a proper thank you as soon as I get to there.
I was guessing that he probably wants a new cave too.
Yeah.
And maybe, did you suggest why maybe he didn't like the cave that he had previously given him?
I would guess that it was because it lost its mate. If I had to guess, it may have just decided I don't want it because the shrimp are coming in here too much, agitating me, or maybe the guppies were going in there too much, messing with it. In terms of the fish behavior to determine why it wanted a new cave, I don't know for sure.
Could it be shape, like the size and the shape? Does that ever affect you?
Could be size if you've got a cave that was proper sized when they were young and they've outgrown it. Absolutely. If you put one in there that's a firm fit for a smaller male that's just reaching its maturity, and they grow that wide and now they can barely fit in the cave. They do like a tight area to be able to protect it, but if it's too tight and they can't even really get all the way in there, then that's entirely possible.
Yeah, they probably have to move around to keep the eggs, circulating the air around the eggs and whatnot. So,
Ginger Graves. Let me make sure I didn't scroll past. Nope, I didn't scroll past Gina's. I'm just that far behind. My apologies. So Ginger Graves said, Fisherman Fever or anyone in the chat, and somebody's probably already answered this, says, do you know anything about rainbow shiners? I've been trying to find temp range for them, as in how hot can they handle? So I do not, but I swear there's somebody that has talked about rainbow shiners. Maybe Dan's Fish, possibly. I feel like
was it Father Fish?
Might be Father Fish. I know that in the hours and hours and hours of listening to fish streams that I heard somebody talking about them. Let me see. Hopefully somebody's picked it up in the chat because I know I've heard discussion about them. I've not kept them, not even researched that one to even be able to give you a good answer on that. I'm saying no ads. You shouldn't see any ads during the live, but as soon as it gets put back up for replay, that's when YouTube throws the ads on it. The only way you would see ads now is if I clicked a button and manually inserted them, or at least in theory, excluding the very beginning one. But I don't think that you should ever see midstream ads while we're live unless I click a button. So if y'all want to watch an ad, let me know. I'll push the button.
Oh, Ginger said that she got them from Roe. So,
so yeah, I would get with Roe.
Yeah, if you need to get in contact with Roe, maybe you could shoot me a text or something, and then I'll give your phone number to Roe and have Roe, because I always I hate to give somebody's address that may not want, or phone number to somebody that may not want to.
You don't just want to put it on the internet? No, I'm kidding. All right, but yeah, no, absolutely. We can definitely get you in touch with Roe, or I can shoot her a message and try and find out. I've been talking to her about getting some shrimp for this new tank that I'm filming right now. But I did finally make it. Gina French, not only a member, but the $10 super chat coming through says, you two are awesome. Ed was tricking me. She said I was just okay, huh, Ed?
Yeah.
Thank you, Gina, very, very much. You were awesome. I really, really do appreciate you. Again, never expected, but certainly very much appreciated. So thank you, Gina French. Just all sorts of good people here. The subscribers, we're at 1,414 subscribers, y'all. Y'all are amazing. When I started back September 28th last year, I didn't imagine it being to this point. I guess I kind of did, because my goal was to hit 1,000 by July 2nd, because that's my birthday. So kind of, but I mean, you all are just awesome. So thank you very much to all of you. Make sure I have not. There we go. And I see a couple other things popped up at the very top there. Chris, and then I see a member, but it's not telling me who. I will get to you, I promise, but I don't want to jump over these questions. Susan First, see Aquatic says, hey, James, my mystery snails have settled in and are reproducing like crazy. I am glad to hear those snails did well for you. I know you'd had issues with previous snails. I have gone from the guppy lady to the crustacean lady, LOL. Yeah, and I don't have any more breeding mystery snails is the funny part. They were getting so out of hand, Susan, that I raised the water levels so they'd stop, and now I'm going to have to drop them back down and get reproduction going again. But I'm glad they did well for you. T-Shot says, I got a pair of Epistos last Friday. They're already spawned. Community tank. I have 2 caves in there. The female moved her fry to another cave. They aren't free swimming yet. Is this common? So I have not personally kept Epistos, but from what I understand, yes, that is common. If you look at, does Kaler have Epistos? I know he's got a lot of different cichlids and things. And I know that they move their fry around fairly often. Like I've seen a lot of Bob Kaler's videos where he's like, "Oh, look, Mama moved the fry over here. Oh, look,
Yeah,
Mama moved
so
it over there."
cute.
Yeah, I wouldn't panic about it. That's typically a fairly common thing from what I've seen in other people's videos, to have the fry moved around.
Yeah, they hurt them. It's almost like they're hurting them like a sheepdog or something.
And I've seen like my convict cichlids do that before, especially if they even think I'm going to attempt disturbing them. They look and they're like, and they go and move them. And it's like, okay, sorry, my bad.
Well, they're probably also trying to look for microorganisms to feed their babies, as they move and stuff. So,
very, very good point. Absolutely. Muppet 929, hey, how are you? Says, chat jumped on me as soon as I started to read that. And the new member is Bill. I will get right back down to you, Bill. Thank you for that. There it is. Muppet 929, about juvenile bristlenose. Every AM I turn the lights on, my heart skips because there is a red area on top of its head, like the internal bleeding, but in an hour, it's gone until next AM. So I'm curious if you have albinos, because I've noticed on my albinos, I have that same like red spot thing going on, and I used to freak out about it, but then I realized it was happening on all of them, and I just don't worry about it. I think that but I think the reason you're seeing it come and go, if you will, is just simply the fish changing their pigmentation or their colors. Just like when they get stressed, they change colors, and you're shifting from night to day. I'm sure a lot of you all have noticed that if you look at your fish different times of the day or under different conditions, you get different colorations out of them, and that's just an adaptive defense mechanism that they've got. So I would say that that's probably why you're seeing a shift in that coloration, but I have noticed that red spot too, and I've never had any problems out of it. There we go. Multi-tank addiction, Chris, another phenomenal member. Throwing a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, just wanted to show some love. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. Chris, brother, I appreciate you. I cannot wait to meet you at Aquashella Dallas. That's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like I've met you. We've talked so much. And, he's one of the people that welcomed me into the hobby when I was first getting started. I was like, hey, brother, come on in. Water's fine. Anything I can do for you, let me know. So, Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction, awesome channel, awesome guy. Thank you very much for that.
And check out his show every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central.
And also this awesome co-host, if I can even call you that. It's more like mutual partner in the show. But he co-hosts for Multi-Tank Addiction, and it's just he's always looking for people to co-host with. So
yeah.
You
almost made me sad for a minute there.
Yeah, I started to do the usual.
I was doing good up until just now.
Yeah, I know, and I was too, and then I started to tell everybody to go check you out over there, and I'm like, no. But we're gonna keep rolling. Again, celebration, not sadness. Just because that's what he would have wanted. So we're gonna jump back on the happy. I almost said happy trail. That would have gotten a lot of comments, and now it will. But we're going to just keep rolling on and forget that happened. Bill Witt, welcome to Bristlenose. Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate you becoming a member. That might put us at the spot for another emoji. I'm going to check real quick. Let's see. And don't forget to check out those awesome custom member emojis as well as the behind-the-scenes content. Again, with me no longer being employed 6 days a week, I'm going to have a lot more member stuff coming out as well. I'm going to kind of revamp the perks, if you will. We're going to get some members only live streams set up. But what I'll probably do there is we may do a members only viewable live stream, but more than likely what I really just want to do is like if we get like a super special guest, do like where everybody can watch, but just the members can chat type of thing, just so that the members can really get their questions in there and get them answered. So thank you very much for that. I hope you enjoyed the perks that come along with it, and I appreciate your support. All right, that puts us at 29. So we are one member away from adding another emoji to the list. But thank you very much, Bill. Let's see, make sure. I know I'm getting a little behind, but we're getting some really good questions and some awesome people throwing super chats and memberships and that stuff. And I want to acknowledge everybody, and I don't want to skip over any questions. I see Mr. Zen up there, and I think that's Guppy Guru's logo. Looks like it. And I will get to you. I promise, my friends. Just two awesome people there. Brad, Mr. Fish, sir, says, I have no cave for it. Didn't think he needed one since he is the only pleco in the tank. That would be, I can almost guarantee why he is digging. He has no cave, so he wants to make a cave so he can feel secure / hopefully attract a mate. Because even though you don't have another one in there, that may not occur to him that he's the only one in the tank. You know, his expectation is he needs to make a cave or find a cave so that a little lady can come along and he can entice her on in with his wiggle. You know, so I would say that is it. Oh, okie dokie. Hey, T-Shot with the $2 super chat. Thank you. Says, thanks for the knowledge drop, guys. Appreciate it. That's what we're here for, to have fun and bring value either through education or entertainment. Hopefully a little bit of both. So thank you very much for the $2 super chat, T-Shot, and we are glad to be helpful. I thought I was gonna hold my composure, but he actually put blush in the super chat. Mr. Zen with the $20 super chat. It was blush. He's good at getting me, and you get a good one because I shaved right before the stream, so there's no whisker away. So you get the full blush there, minus of course the beard. This can't go away. It's got to stay. I think I'd lose my subscriber base if I got rid of that. Thank you very much, Mr. Zen. Very much appreciated, brother. Looking forward to meeting you as well in Dallas for Aquashella. I did not miss Guppy Guru. There he is. Real quick before I get to that, Muppet's got one highlighted for me. It says Muppet 929 says, yes, it's an albino. Thanks, that makes me feel better. Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed that on my albinos, and some on even the super red, that red spot on the top of the head. So don't freak out. You know, it's just its brains or something. But no health issue there. So glad we could be of service. Guppy Guru, this awesome guy. Not only has he been a guest on here, and he's also a member, and he is also the website coordinator, if you will. He's the guy that revamped the fishroomfever.com and made it all nice and pretty with the pictures and updated the stream times on there. Also throwing $5 at us in a super chat. Says, planning on going to words are hard. Aquashella, Dallas. See you all there. Dude, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to meet you. So many people there to hang out with. Like, it's almost, who was it? Bob Steenfott was talking about that October event here in Knoxville. He was like, dude, even if something happened, there's still going to be awesome fish people to hang out with. It's like, you know, even if we got there and the show was a washout or whatever, there are going to be so many cool people in Dallas that it's just going to be fishing.
We probably have a better time.
Yeah. Like, we don't need the show. We can all just go do a fish store hop and hang out with each other, you know?
So Guppy Guru does the big Halloween party. I wonder if he's going to do it the week before Halloween.
That's right. I remember him saying that he was that house on the block, and that's why he couldn't come.
That's my boat. So I'm going to try to get our Halloween party the weekend before also.
I'm the guy that drives around and look for the neighborhood that has that house. So, you know, I'm good, but that's awesome. I'm glad you're going to be able to go, buddy. And thank you very much for the $5 super chat.
And, you know, while he's here, why don't we talk about Project Pasilia for a second?
Go for it. Go right ahead. I'm going to go through the chat and answer questions in the chat while you do that.
That's cool. All the entries are in. We're not taking any more. We got some amazing entries, all three categories. I think in the next couple days, we're going to be getting together, or, we'll be compiling our stuff from what we see, and we'll be making our decisions from that. Lefty has made an awesome spreadsheet, and he was asking me what I thought about spreadsheets or something. It's like, the last spreadsheet I used, I think, was doing hockey scores on paper. That's what you open it up and assists, goals, shots, penalties. But our Lefty, Guppy Guru, Zen have been amazing on the technical side of it all. Rack is going to come in and do a judging. We've got this guy right here. And am I missing one more person for the judging?
I was reading the comments.
Oh, it may be me. I think that's the 6 people. And we've got some wonderful sponsors. So it'll be read off the winners on Rack's show. I don't know if it'll be this week or the following week, but be prepared. And thank you everybody for entering. I didn't go through all the videos. I went through the art section and the photo, and there wasn't any mollies, and it broke my heart because y'all know that I love guppies, but I also love mollies. So, but oh well, maybe next year.
So real quick, I want to address Bill Witt says, sorry, I can't do more. Please don't apologize. And if you people that can't join, please don't apologize. I appreciate you all being here. That is more than enough. That's more than I can even ask for, the fact that you all show up and hang out. So please don't apologize. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. And that's specifically why I made that $2 level, because I know that it's hard. And I didn't want to say, well, if you don't have $5 a month, you can't be a member. And I'm not. I don't mean that to call anybody out that's got only a $5. I'm not talking crap about them, because somebody will take that clip and flip it and be like, Fish Room Fever is a jerk. He's talking crap. No, I'm just saying I understand, and I wanted to be able to bring that value, down there at that. So please don't apologize. I appreciate you more than you know. And if you can't afford anything, the people that are here, you're all awesome, and I love you for being here. So thank you very much. So I wanted to address that, because I felt bad that I was getting an apology, and I don't ever want anybody to be sorry that they became a Bristlenose member. That's why it's there, and the fact that you're doing it, it is awesome and appreciated.
I think I'm a Bristlenose.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I've got a lot of friends that I want to be members of, and I can't afford to be on members of everybody.
And that's my thing.
So I really appreciate that.
I am a member to more channels than I have members. And most of them don't have a $2 level, and that played a big part in it, because I did have to cut a couple of memberships. Just because I looked at my monthly thing and I was like, oh wow, I'm a member to almost 40 channels, and I'm like, I can't do that, especially if I'm going to be, living the dream, so to speak, sustaining just that. So that's why it's there. So like Ed said, I appreciate that. When you sign up even that $2 a month level, that is very much appreciated, because I know there are a million other places just on YouTube, not even excluding the real world, that you could be putting that. So thank you. Lefty3213A is asking favorite Tetra Fish Room Fever. So I have got, can I do the cheat answer and say Piranha, because they're in the same, family? Now, I've got a lot of different Tetras, and I honestly, kind of like the Guppies, was not really a big Tetra fan, because I was into monster fish my last go around in the hobby. But I have got 9 different types of Tetras, silver tips, lemons, glow light, not the glow Tetras, but the glow light Tetras. I've got the albino, bloodfin Tetras. I've got a whole bunch, but I think my favorite is these. Let me see if I can get you a shot. These black neons, if I remember correctly, that's what they are. And you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but they've actually got slight hues of blue on the dorsal fin, and a little bit on the tail, but mostly on the dorsal fin. They've got like a slight blue hue to them, and I think they're my favorite, because I really like that blue, and they just look super, super neat.
I really like the black Tetra also. I've got one Tetra I've had forever. Well, not forever, but for a long time. It's a black Tetra. He was at one of my local fish stores. They were closing up, and he was all by himself, and I was like, okay, I got to take him home too. And he's like, he swims. I think he thinks he's a penguin tetra because he's always darting around with them, going in circles. Yeah, I like tetras. They're just so hard to breed. That's why I only have one tetra tank.
Well, I started adding them as dithers in my snowball colony. Hopefully one day breeding colony, even though that hasn't happened yet, just because I wanted the snowballs to hopefully feel safer seeing all these other fish around. Yeah, well, most people know the purpose of dithers, but and then I just fell in love with them. So I've got easily 30 in there, and they all school together. It's a batch of all different types, but they all just hang out in a mingled group, and it's just super fun to watch. Hello, Fish Whisperer Miles and Pugimus Maximus saying hello. Priscilla MK said Aquashella Dallas is going to be fire if it happens. Yes, I think it'll even be fire if it doesn't happen and we all just happen to show up and find out last minute it didn't happen. But yeah, it's going to be a blast. Mr. Fish Sir laughing at my comment about enticing with the wiggle. Yeah, if you've ever watched Bristlenose, the male, he'll get out there and he'll do his little wiggle and he'll fan his fins and, get that female to come on over. And he pops in there and seals off the cave. And we'll leave it at that. We're not going to get into consent issues with Bristlenose plecos, but yeah, it's a little wiggle. Let's see. Oh, it jumped. There we go. I found you. Matthew Hall. Hello. I don't know that I've seen your name before. Welcome. I appreciate you being here and becoming a member as well. Welcome to Bristlenose. Again, check out the custom emojis. And that, my friend, I know for sure that let me refresh this. I have a new emoji unlock. So I will put up another poll in the members section and ask, or not in a poll, I'll put up a post and ask what you all would like to see and get the consensus, and we will add that new emoji in there. Thank you very, very much, Matthew, and welcome. Be sure to go back and check out the behind the scenes stuff that I've posted for members only. And I hope you enjoy it. And if there's ever anything you want to see, just let me know. I'm trying to get this uploaded. It's not going to upload right now. But yeah, I know that puts us there. Yeah, lots of welcomes to Matthew. Awesome. Thank you all. Trying to skip through the questions. There's some really good conversation going on, but I'm trying not to get in the middle of it because I know that's a rabbit hole that I'll go down. By the way, we do have, because we're getting to almost 9 o'clock my time, we have Aquamate coming up. Boy, this time has really flown by.
It really has.
I believe he's going to be mobile, if I remember correctly. So I think he's got an adventure planned. So if we can get the link for Aquamate in here, I would really, really appreciate that. Not only a cool Aussie, but he's also a member. He's had me on his channel. I'm a member on his channel as well. He had me on as a guest and also on his 24-hour live stream way back. That was really awesome. If you're ever looking for something that goes on for a while, go check that out. I can't believe it's almost 9 o'clock. It's flown by tonight.
It really has. It has. John Cox says that tetras are easy, and I have seen how to do it. I just never have because I don't have the small food. The vinegar eels and stuff. It's just tough. And I've thought about maybe trying to do Congo tetras someday.
So Indoor Fishing Insights is, how do you feel about Colombian tetras? I'm really horrible with defining all the tetras unless it's one that I really know, but I'd say I will probably like them. I've yet to find a tetra, that I don't like. And then somebody mentioned the rummy nose. Curtis Schindler said rummy nose is where it's at, though. Rummy nose are absolutely gorgeous, especially if you get them in a school or a shoal. I had some. Long story, they ended up getting ick from some hatchet fish that I thought had successfully gone through quarantine, but they were in a blackwater tank in quarantine, trying to get them acclimated because they were Piava fish, so they were used to the lower pH. pulled them out of QT, put them in with the rummy nose in the Piaba tank, realized they had some ick. The rummy nose got it, and it just wiped the whole darn tank out. So I've not gotten any more since then. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Pegasus Arena says, random question, how long and how many subscribers did it take you to get the join button for your fans to become members? So they started to roll out the membership option to channels under 35,000 subscribers about 2 months ago. I think that anybody, how do I want to phrase this? I think once you're at 1,000 subscribers now, that makes you eligible for it when they decide to roll it out to you. It used to be you had to have 35,000 subscribers in order to get members, unless you were a gaming channel, and that goes back to a whole lot of other Google, YouTube gamer stuff that I don't want me to get into for this stream.
It sounded like they were in a union.
Yeah. But basically, they've started rolling it out to people with less than the 35,000 initial requirement. So pretty much, I think anybody at this point with over 1,000 is becoming eligible as they continue to roll that out to more and more channels.
They're still dragging their feet, though, because like Susie Q hasn't been asked, and she has a whole mess of people.
And see, they don't just openly say, hey, these are the criteria. They say, well, we're going to test this here and we're going to test that there. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because I got so many watch hours and subscribers as quick as I did that they give me the option. I don't know.
Maybe it's because you have me.
It is. It's because I have Ed. They like that red beard.
Chris has it too.
Yeah.
He's pretty much got the same numbers and stuff that you have. So
yeah. Let's see. Trying to catch anything here at the last moment. We've only got 3 minutes left. Wow, it has really flown by. Pegasus says, sounds like I've always been popular then. People like this goofy guy for some reason, and this goofy guy over here certainly helps. The dynamic duo. So I'm blessed to have you all here, and I appreciate you all. I really, really do. When I look at that number, I don't look at just a number. I realize that there are that many people attached to the number that actually clicked a button because they liked something they saw. So thank you all.
Moonstone said, right, Ed? LOL. I don't know what I said right to, but I'm definitely going to agree.
It's because we've got you on here. That's why.
Oh, well, I think she said that before that, but
okay.
I'll take it.
I was trying to give you some props. As we've got 61 people watching, 68 thumbs ups, and that customary thumbs down. I love you too. Love you too. Ed, if you've got any final words, you're welcome to say them. I'm going to run through the super chatters and new members after you do, and then we will turn it over to Aquamate.
I guess when you lose someone, make sure you tell the people that you love and your friends that you care about them, and it makes you feel better. I just lost someone. Well, we all did, and I talked to him just Tuesday night, but it's like blah blah blah, and it's not. I don't say, James, man, I love you every day.
Yeah.
But make sure you tell the people that are close to you that you care about them and you love them.
Absolutely. Because you never know. And I'll be honest, and Miss Fever is going to be going, yeah, no kidding. I don't like to let people in, and I very rarely show emotion. She often compares me to Spock from Star Trek, who is all logic and no emotion. But that hit me hard when I found out. Brother, you're going to be missed. I know you're up there hanging with the Fish fam still. We love you, and we're going to miss you. Before I lose composure, I'm going to run through these super chats real quick so I can say a proper thank you. Let's see. We've got, oh goodness, hit see all. Sorry, Aquamate, if I run a minute over. I do want to say thank you to everybody real quick. The Zen Ginger, Lefty 3213A, Priscilla MK, Mr. Fish Sir, Mr. Zen, Gina French, Multi Tank Addiction, T Shot, Mr. Zen, Guppy Guru, Lefty3213 again with one that I apparently missed, says, I care about all you goofballs with the heart. Love you too, man. The Fish Fam is awesome, and it's glad that we can find people that we can care about, that we have, you know, awesome people like the Fish Fam in this community. Thank you as well to all of the members and the 2 new members tonight, Bill Witt, Matthew Hall. I appreciate all of you members. I'm not going to run through the entire list of members tonight just because it's 9 o'clock. I don't want to step on Aquamate's toes, and I think he's got something awesome planned for us. So I would say, you know, like Ed said, you know, just let everybody know you love them. You know, you never know when it's going to be the last time. So the people you care about, make sure they know you care about them. And again, I feel like Nathan would want us to celebrate, you know, celebration over sadness. So let's keep that celebration rolling. Let's go hang out with Aquamate. Just, you know, carry on in his honor. So until next time, I'm just going to say I love you all. Thank you all. And I hope to see you soon.